Okay, we're going to continue then and look at writing the body of our paper. It's going to answer that focus question. So all the information in the body of the paper is going to answer the focus question. If you look at your outline, it was divided up into 2 paragraphs. One paragraph is going to deal with rules, and one paragraph is going to deal with rituals. Or you can divide it up. This is what happened before Jonas and the giver kind of hatched their plan, and this is what happened after, the rules and rituals. So you can figure out how you're going to organize your paper. It becomes your choice. You can do it in a time organization. This was in the first half of the book. This is the second half of the book. These were the rules and rituals in the first half of the book and what they did. These are the rules and rituals in the second half of the book and how they changed. Or you can do one paragraph on rules, what they were and how they changed, and one paragraph on rituals, what they were and how they changed. It's your choice. But you're going to have 2 body paragraphs. Now, some of you may be looking at your notes and go, okay, I didn't organize my notes that way. That's okay. Just draw numbers, arrows, symbols, whatever, so that when you go to write your paper, you know where you're going to put things. Does that make sense? Because your outline is just nothing but a bunch of notes for you to write from. So that when you get ready to write the paper, you don't have to think about it from scratch. You've got a whole bunch of ideas already written down. That's why it's called pre-writing. Each paragraph states the interpretation of the question and then is supported by examples in the text. So when you start the paragraph, you have to tell the reader what they're going to read in the paragraph. You have to provide a topic sentence for the paragraph. So if you're breaking the book into a time organization where you're talking about the first half of the book and the second half of the book, you have to let the reader know that. If you're talking about rules in one paragraph and rituals in another, you have to let the reader know that. You have to provide a topic sentence for the entire paragraph. Okay? You have to have quotes. The question always is, how many quotes do I need to have? We're looking for 33% or 1/3 of the body paragraphs only. No quotes in the introduction, no quotes in the conclusion. So if you have a paragraph that has 12 sentences in it and 1/3 of them has to be direct quotes from the story, how many sentences out of 12 have to be direct quotes? 4. 4 quotes, 8 of your own words. Got it? That's how we figure that out. Can you have 5 out of 12? Yeah, you could. Okay. Can you have 3? You're at 25% if you have 3. I'm not that strict. I'm not going to be the quote Nazi. But you can't have 1 quote. You can't have 8 quotes and 2 of your own sentences. You follow what I'm saying? And you never, ever, ever put quotes back to back without your own words in between them. Okay, if all you do is give a few examples from the text and identify them as character development or climax of the story or rules, this is a rule or this is a ritual, you haven't analyzed anything. You're retelling. The analysis part involves explaining how your examples show what you know about the character or why this is the climax of the story. Or it shows how this is a ritual or how it has changed. You with me? You must have ideas in depth, not just superficial facts. So when you take an idea like the ceremony of age, ceremony of 4, the ceremony of 8, the ceremony of 12, okay, you have to explain how that is a ritual or what that is. You can't just state it. Oh, ritual, like the ceremony of 12. You cannot assume I know what that is. You have to analyze it. In other words, you have to interpret what the author has stated into your own thinking. Quotations support your assertions. They're not there to pad the paper. Pad the paper means fluff it up with quotes from the book. In other words, if I put in this really long quote, Mrs. Crandall will think I wrote a really long paper. Well, the first time I read your paper, I read it without the quotes because I want to know what you think. Then I go back and read it a second time and I read it with the quotes. And then I see if your quotes are backing up what you think. Does that make sense? So if all I read are 3 sentences that are not in quotation marks and the paper is 3 pages long, we have a problem. Okay? When you use a quotation, specify how it relates to your idea. Introduce the quotation with your idea. We never drop in quote bombs. Quote bombs is where you just drop in a quote from the text, but you don't introduce the quote. So if you say in the book that Jonas was excited about going to the ritual, the ceremony of 12, I would then put a comma and put the quotation from the book where I got that idea. Okay? Make sense? This is something I can help you with in the revision or in the first draft process. Always reproduce spelling, punctuation, capitalization, and other features exactly as they appear in the book. Don't change it, even if it's incorrect. Document your quote with the page number. Okay, so I'm going to stop the video here.